it's kind of I wasn't the best kid growing well when in high school. It started in high school. Started chasing the girls and doing the party, hanging out and doing, having fun. I lived the life too early. And I also became a father at 16 years old. So if you know kids out there like me, there's hope. Okay, I'll be more than happy to talk to them for you if you can get a hold of me. And I laugh about it now, but back then it was no joke. My dad was really upset. My dad was, he was like, I'm not raising another kid. Like what you're gonna go to work. So my father knew one of my father was a union representative for the cabinet makers union in Los Angeles in Southern California, and he knew obviously he had connections with he knew a lot of places to work for. So my father knew of a company. It was called Northwestern Showcase. It was a company in LA, and he knew the owner, and he also knew the foreman there, which was he was an old school Sicilian, like a mob boss, like like he was straight from Sicily, hardcore, just mean Sicilian. And my dad's like, yes, I'm gonna put my son to work there. I think he did it on purpose. He wanted me to really get tortured and really learn how to really build a business. And everybody that worked there was like old school from Europe, like they were from England, from Germany. They were all, I mean, amazing craftsmen, right? And my dad knew that, so he wanted me to go. If I'm gonna be in the trades, you might as well go work with the best people. So, he got me a job there. I started working at 16 years old. I started working full time, and it was architectural woodworking, they call it. And we would build mostly the Vegas casinos, like the Bellagio, the Venetian, all those casinos that were built at those times. We built all the woodworking. We would build in LA. We would build it in like that in the shop, tear it all down, ship it off to Vegas, and they would install it. All the stuff from all the fancy molding, everything you could think of, bar, all the woodworking. And I learned a lot. I also went to it's called LA Trade Tech. It was associated with the union and the whole the job. So I was an apprentice. So I had to every time I graduated a semester, I would get a raise until I became what's called a journeyman. And I became a journeyman at 20, I think what 19 or 20 years old. So, I'm making top dollar. The top dollar in construction, construction is like it's like a catch 22. They can hook you real quick with good money real quick, right? But then it stays that way for a long time unless you become a contractor. So I started making good money. And then I was like, I hit a plateau. So at 20 years old, I was making, for my age at the time in with the 90s, whatever it was, I started making good money. So I bought a house at 20 years old in a city called Northridge, California. So, here I was 20 years old, I had a nice truck, I had a nice new home, but I was broke at a higher level. And I was just working to pay my bills. And I was like, God, I got to do something different, right? So, anyways, make a long story short, we were working at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And I was working, I had an apprentice with me, and we were hanging these doors, and they were doing this it's called gold leafing. It's like special gold that goes on these handles and around the door. And we were installing these nice fancy doors, whatever. But it was interesting is that they had security watching us. And I was like, this is crazy. I told the apprentice, I go, why is security watching us for? And I go, it's like we're prisoners. Like what are we gonna steal this big door and run out the front door with a big door like down Sunset Boulevard? Like what? I mean, this is. I was like, this is. At that moment, I was like, you know what? I told the apprentice, I go, man, I shouldn't be working here. I should be staying at this hotel. This is. I got to find something different. And long and behold, he told me, hey, man, I met a guy. He's in this telecom business. He's about our age. He lives in the Hollywood Hills. I mean, I don't know how it works, but you can make money and he's willing to help people and train people. And I was like, well, who is he? How do I meet this guy? And I'm telling you, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear, right? It's like you couldn't say the wrong thing to me at that time because I was looking for something. And he ended up introducing me to this fella, when becoming my mentor, and the rest is history. This guy mentored me. At the time, it was telecom. It's the same arena as what I do now, but it was in telecom, and I just went to the next level. I was like, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. Show me how to do this business. Mentor. That's why I learned about all the books, and I started growing as a leader. And I ended up walking away from the cabinet making world. And I've been doing this for 20 since I went full time August 2001. So I've been doing this kind of business since then. So it's been a long time.